Oh, come on, we need more energy than that. This is the first panel of the day. We got to kick this off right. All right, as that said, I am Ben Beck. I am the co-creator of the Next Level Podcast Network based out of Philadelphia. This is my first time in Atlanta, guys. I'm loving it, by the way. There's a lot of people out there. This is awesome. So, apologies, we were running a little bit late, but we're going to get right to it. You guys are all Arrow fans, I'm assuming, right? All right, let's bring out our panelists. They're all from Arrow. Let's just bring them out. Please welcome to the stage David Ramsey, Paul Blackthorne, Katie Cassidy, Willa Holland, and Charlotte Ross. There he is.
Hello? Oh, hi. What's up?
I know y'all like, where's Steven at?
Welcome to Atlanta, ladies
So
and
are
gentlemen.
we.
So I think we have microphones set up for audience questions. We'll get to them in just a few minutes. If you see the volunteers, you can put your hands up. You can follow them over to the microphones. If you have any questions for our panelists, you can just head up onto the mics and start lining up. But we're in season 5 right now. I'm curious, as far in as we are, I think that this has been an amazing season so far. How many of you guys agree with me out there? Season 5, right? While we have people lining up, I want to kind of go down the line. What has been your favorite moments from this season so far? Charlotte, I know we haven't seen you yet. I'm hoping we're going to get to see you again in this season. But what are some of your favorite moments so far from this season?
Which end of the line are you starting?
We'll start with you.
Okay.
You jumped off.
The end of the line down here. Well, all I've done is sort of get upset and being a bit hungover and drunk and emotional with this fabulous lady. So those are kind of been my favorite moments, really, because that's really what's been going on.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing.
We've just sort of been staring at each other thinking, well, you're kind of daughterish, you're kind of fatherish. You'll do. Let's latch onto each other. I feel a bit miserable right now. Make us a cup of tea, would you, darling? They've been wonderful moments with this lady.
You took the words right out of my mouth. That's all I got. It's early, guys.
Drink some coffee, Willa.
I'm trying.
I know. I kind of.
I'm like, I can't really say exactly. I don't know. Contractually, I don't know if I'm really allowed to say what my favorite moments
She's
are.
had some amazing moments.
Yeah, have I really been there yet? I don't know. I just can't answer that. But I'll pass it on to you. Have you been there? Oh, darling.
Do you want to ask some season 4 questions
Have you been
instead?
getting drunk
Back
and
to
having
season
tea? I want to get drunk and have tea with Willa.
I'm realizing it probably was the best question to start with. But Katie, how do you think? I'm sorry. Sorry, David. How do you think Laurel would react to the father-daughter relationship that Quentin and Thea have kind of developed at this point?
I think that, I mean, Laurel, just like as a character, as a person, I feel like she would absolutely, I don't know exactly what their relationship consists of, but from what I know, I think that she would be very supportive, right? You're not like doing anything.
We're not having sex or anything, no. It's a platonic relationship, I promise.
Right.
Mind you, we're only halfway through the season.
You never know what can happen. I mean,
Anything
so
can happen on Arrow.
I definitely think that she would be supportive of it. You know, she's a positive, good person.
I can tell you, darling TV daughter, you would approve.
Absolutely.
It's all been very nice.
I mean,
Thank
Thea
you.
and Laurel had a very sisterly relationship for the last 4 seasons, very strong foundation, and I think that she would very much want her to support and help her father and vice versa. Yeah, nice things. Nice, lovely things.
David, what's been your favorite moment of this season so far? I mean, because we've seen Spartan come back, obviously. You've got a new helmet, which is awesome.
Thank the Lord. Yeah, Diggle finally.
I loved seeing you in that hat.
I know. I have a picture, actually, I'm going to post it with you in it. Do you remember it? Like, you just tried it on arbitrarily, and you made this funny face in it, like...
I just call
I
it
have
a
that.
hat. I
have
couldn't
that,
even
so
call
I'm
it a helmet.
gonna
It was
actually
quite
post that.
bizarre.
It was funny. Favorite moment? You know something? Just I don't know if I have a favorite moment yet. Getting back to the team was good. There's a lot of new faces, so kind of working with everyone else was kind of awkward because like the core has kind of been a little bit broken up a little bit, and some people have kind of been added, and so it was just kind of an adjustment period. Even not just character-wise, but even as an actor, it's just like, what the hell are all these people doing down here?
Who are all these people?
Yeah,
It's in
who
my
are these
arrow
people?
cave.
Like,
They're all very nice, but who are
who
they?
are these people?
Who's
And
standing next to my costume?
you should be home in bed, young lady. So there was a lot of that, but you know, it's been fun. And you know, anytime you get to work, for me, Steve and I have a lot of fun together, so it's always a lot of fun.
You guys have too much fun together. It's ridiculous.
We do. I think we kind of get on your nerves a bit sometimes.
You don't get on my nerves. I just get unnerved by the bottom pinching that goes on a lot between these two.
Yeah.
It's a bit weird.
There's a lot of that.
You yourself are an accomplished martial artist, and we've seen a number of different people now attempt the salmon ladder in the Arrow Cave. When are we going to see you attempt the salmon ladder?
You have. I mean,
Oh,
you haven't seen it on camera. It was posted like last year or something like that. Yeah, you've seen it. Will you see it again? I don't know if you'll see it again. I
David,
don't
can
know.
you actually do it?
Come on, David.
Yeah,
Can you
yeah.
actually
You
do
gotta
the salmon ladder?
Do it
I can-
now.
I mean, you're a big lad.
Somebody
You're
bring
making
out
me
a salmon
sweat.
ladder.
My God.
That should actually be a thing. We should pitch
No,
that
I can't do
at
the salmon ladder.
cons.
You
We
can't
should
do the
build
salmon
one
ladder?
right now.
I can
Give
do it.
me
Actually,
pies
some
of
people
wood.
know
Oh,
that
you
it's
can
been
do it,
posted.
okay.
It's been posted.
The women can.
Yeah. You guys just haven't seen it yet.
Did you do it, Katie? Did you do the salmon ladder?
I've actually never done it, but I think that I could do it.
Katie could definitely do it. I could
think
swing
I
by
could.
the bars. With one hand. I could like swing.
Charlotte, do you think if your character was in the show right now, with everything that Quentin's going through right now, do you think things would be a little easier for him? Do you think you would be able to help him through this? Or
I think that question applies to me, and the answer is yes. But let's see what Charlotte says.
Well, first of all, I think that Paul is doing some extraordinary work this season.
Agreed.
I think that as an actor, we always love challenges, and certainly playing drunk is kind of an easy cliche to fall into some bad acting things, and so I think he's really wonderful and playing it wonderfully. I will say that I miss the cast and crew very much, and I certainly think I would be a big help to you, darling. I think I would make you go to rehab and make you see, that there are things to live for and be grateful for. I think, he's going through a really rough time. And we can all kind of fall into our I feel sorry for myself and wallow. And it takes time and someone else sometimes to point out what you have to be grateful for. So I would think that I would help you.
I think you would, darling. And we'd be having sex and things like that. It'd be much better.
That would
Always
certainly
helps.
help.
Sex
Get
is
through
on your
grief.
brain
Thank
this
God.
morning, Paul Blackthorne.
Sorry, I can't
Is
over
it?
that.
Is it really?
You're blushing, darling. You're blushing.
TV sex I'm talking about, not sex.
On that note,
Children
let's
in the room.
let's go to the audience and get some questions. Let's start over on this side here.
Hello. I just want to say I am always very impressed with Paul Blackthorne's American accent on Arrow, and I wondered if the rest of you would be willing to do a British accent and have him judge you.
Finally! What? That's the best
Darling.
question I've ever had on this
Darling.
debate. There you go. Willa, you're first, love. I know you can do English because you grew up English.
She sometimes slips into a British accent,
Especially
which
after a drink.
I adore.
Guys, put me on the spot. That really hurts my feelings, alright? Is that not doing it?
Not
Are you
bad.
doing it?
I mean, I'm sorry. It's really early right now.
Are you judging?
I gotta put the mic closer to my face.
Charlotte?
I'm tired.
Would you like to get involved?
Katie, let's have some tea.
Would you like to have some tea?
Yes, I'd like some tea and crumpets.
Oh,
I
some
think we can do it.
crumpets. Willa, would you like to join us?
It's not bad, is it? It's not
On the
bad.
Barbie.
The one I'm really looking forward to, though, is the big man.
Dave,
Ramsey,
I
give us
can't-
your English.
I can't do the English accent. I can only do Paul Blackthorne's accent on set, working with me and Steven.
let's hear it.
Steven, David, shut up! That's Paul Blackthorne.
But that was
on
an
the set.
American accent.
That's you. You tell us to shut up as Quentin Lance, so it would be an
Yeah,
American
no,
accent.
you do. do
Curtis,
some
shut
things-
up.
Yeah, in your American
Shut up,
accent
Curtis.
during shooting. It's actually interesting. I don't
Do
even
I?
know if you realize.
Yeah,
You you'll like
Paul Blackthorne is a brilliant actor. He's also a method actor. So he's very, very intense on the set.
And apparently wasted?
He's been hammered for the last 6 months,
I
guys.
have been drinking all season. Those are real hangovers, real drinking, real tears, everything.
It was really interesting working with him, guys.
My breath is stunk.
That was a great question, by the way.
It
That
was
a good
very
question.
good.
Let's go over to this side here.
I never got
Oh,
to judge,
sorry,
though, did I?
We'll go right down here, right front.
My question is for all of you. Every beginning of the season, there is an arrowhead, and I was wondering which one out of the 5 seasons is your favorite?
There's been an arrow, what? Arrowhead.
An arrowhead.
In the beginning of the show, they show when they're going to commercial, they show the arrowhead.
I see. Oh, the logo, the arrow.
Yeah, the
Oh,
logo.
They
girl,
be
we,
different?
we
Yeah.
went someplace.
This is information news to Paul.
arrowhead.
Have
Paul's
they been
like,
different?
wait, what?
For each season, it's a different logo of an arrowhead.
I'm gonna go OG.
Really?
Season 1.
Yeah, I think so. OG for me.
Season
Season 1.
one.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go over this side again.
I didn't even knew that.
Hi.
Because you don't watch your show.
Hi, I'm Cami. My question is for Charlotte Ross. So Mama Smoke was such a fan favorite, and we'd love to see more of her soon. But for now, what do you think Mama Smoke has been up to in season 5? Is she in contact with Felicity? What does she think of what's going on?
Well, first of all, I really appreciate that, and I feel really grateful and blessed to have the fan support that I've had. I don't take that for granted, so thank you so much, because Mama Smoke has definitely been a rainbow of emotions to play, both comedy and, serious and that kind of thing. First of all, I think that she's a little hurt that this one hasn't been calling.
I've been busy drinking.
Yeah, well, she's had a rough road, men have let her down, and now you're on that list, and I think she's a little bummed by that, and I think we kind of revert back to what we're used to when we get hurt, and I think she's back to being in Vegas and being a cocktail waitress and licking her wounds, and I think that she loves Felicity more than anything else in the world, as do I, to be honest with you. I think they talk all the time. I think she probably sends a lot of emojis, a lot of, crying emojis and happy emojis.
Charlotte, that's you, darling. That's
No, it's
not the character.
No, darling. No, darling. I think that I think that Donna misses her daughter a lot, and I think that her daughter probably hasn't been totally honest with her about her relationship, because you know how much a supporter Donna Mama Smoke is of her relationship with Steven on the show. So I bet you she hasn't been totally honest with that, or I would be flying in
Yeah.
and fixing that. So anyway.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, let's go over to this side again.
Morning, guys. I have a question for David. It's not a two truths, one lie. I'm good with that right now. But it's a baby Sarah question.
Stand closer to the microphone, darling.
Oh, sorry. It's a baby Sarah question. So for David, I wanted to know how did you react when you actually learned, about baby Sarah turning into baby John Jr.
I have a few things to say about this. First of all, I don't see any reason why Diggle and Lila just can't have another child.
Yeah.
First of all. Second of all, my genes are really, really powerful. Because there's not an ounce of Caucasian in John Jr.
He's not at all? I thought he was a little light.
No, there isn't.
That's okay. It's okay.
I mean, it's a great story point. No, seriously, it's a great story point. You'll see Diggle's reaction to understanding that he once had a daughter in the big four-way crossover that I'm sure everyone here is looking forward to. So, and it's going to be a lot more compassionate than you might think. Clearly, Diggle can't miss something he's never had. So from his perspective, there's only been John Jr. Sarah never existed for him. So it's not going to be quite as, I get a lot of questions like, he's going to be angry. He's not going to be angry. He's going to be much more concerned about Barry's misuse of his power, which is a good story point. It's a good place for Diggle and Barry to kind of find some common ground in Barry's own soul searching. So those are my two responses to John Jr. But he's a great actor. I mean, there's a little scene we did last week together where he kind of comes in the room. He's a little ham. So he's a good little actor.
He's a little ham, did you say?
Yeah, he's a good actor. Ham.
That's like an insult to acting, isn't it?
No. Maybe in Britain.
Maybe
It is in Britain.
Maybe in London.
Yeah.
Hammy acting, that would be like an insult.
No, ham
Think
over
about
here.
it, Ramsey.
Ham over here is like it's like he's quick, he's cute, he's John Barrowman.
That's ham. That's British ham.
Yeah.
Over this side.
Thank you.
Okay, David, I know you're back on the Arrow team. Katie and Willa, if you were back on the Arrow team, who would you want as sidekicks, superhero sidekicks, like Marvel or DC? Each of one of you.
Marvel or DC?
Yeah.
Let's not cross.
Yeah, we're not.
comics.
Yeah, we don't.
That's just
Not-
it's a whole other realm that we will never get into.
That's where you get a phone call from Warner Brothers if you start doing things like that.
Who would be my psych? Oh, you know what? I would pick Little Penguin. Pick Robin. I've been chatting up with that guy, and I like him a lot. I would love to do some I'd like to turn him kind of good, because I get it that he's a bad guy in Gotham, but I'd like to bring him over to Starling City and vibe with the Penguin. I don't know. He's cool.
Vibe with the Penguin.
Clap for that. Woo, oh my God, it worked.
There you go. That's an answer.
Who would I team up with? Is that?
Yeah, as a sidekick. If you were back on the Arrow team, who would be your sidekick?
The Green Arrow. Black Canary, the Green Arrow. Kind of goes
She would
together.
demote Steven to her sidekick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By
She
the
would
way,
take
watch
over.
out. It's, the future is women.
The future is female.
Yes.
It still is, guys. It still is.
Over this side.
Still is. My question is for Paul and Charlotte. We didn't get to see the dissolution of the relationship between Lance and Donna, and I was just wondering, what do you think that last conversation was like? How
I
would
say
you
this
play
with
that
love,
out?
but there's a lot of things you don't see between the plot points in Arrow, isn't there? Plot point. Oh, plot point. A lot of shit that happened in between. You have to kind of work out yourself.
Yeah, Arrow's very A to Z and nothing in between.
So true.
And that's what makes it a good show and keeps you on your toes, right?
What do you think about
Good
it? Do you
comeback.
think about what actually happened?
What do you think? What do you think?
Well, I don't know if it was an argument about him already drinking again, or him letting her down in some way that she just couldn't let go of, or him pushing her away because he felt terrible about himself and didn't want to mess up her life any further.
I mean, it's hard to be a good partner when you don't feel good about yourself and you have low self-esteem. My instinct is that certainly Donna Smoke didn't dump him. I think that I really wanted to make it work. I really wanted him to be my knight in shining armor. I really wanted him to be trustworthy and loving and loyal, and
I don't want to upset you now, Charlotte, but Charlotte didn't have to think about that because obviously we weren't working on these scenes together after that, so she didn't, from an acting point of view, have to consider it. But I did have to consider it because I was sat there drunk for a change on the sofa when Stephen's character asked me that question. So I obviously, from an acting point of view, had to think about it from a backstory viewpoint. So I had it that we'd gone off on our little road trip at the end of the season 4, right? And that was all good and well for a month or so. And then she was like, now let's go back to Vegas, where I'm from. I was like, yeah, okay, sweetheart, that sounds great. So we roll into Vegas, and then I suddenly see the reality of Donna Smoke's world. Ooh. And I had you working at one of those really cheesy casinos at the top of the strip, like near the Golden Nugget, Fremont Street, like the real kind of like cheeseball end. And have you ever been to Vegas?
Darling, that's a bad backstory. I think I would have wanted to.
I had to find some reason why I couldn't stand living there, right?
I would have wanted to be with my daughter too.
Put her at the Bellagio, man.
She was not at the Bellagio. And you know those housing tracts?
Freaking Golden Nugget.
You know those housing tracts in Vegas? There's like, it's all city, suburban, and it just stops as a line, and then it's like, Indian, so Native American reservations. And I had you in like the last little cheese ball, boxy little house at the end, this horrible little street. And I just had Lance
That
there
sounds
going,
very
what the hell, I can't
materialistic.
be
That
with this
sounds-
woman.
Why? Because of my little
And
house?
that's why I started
'Cause
drinking
I didn't
again.
have money? That's materialistic.
And you had this horrible couch and this awful plates and cups and saucers. Drove me back to the bottle, that's what did it.
Well, that was a very deep answer.
You have to think about backstory.
Way too thought out. Thank you.
Over to this side.
Hi, my name's Amelia, and my question is for David. How do you feel about the legacy of Sarah not being honored through baby Sarah anymore?
How do I feel about what again?
The legacy of Sarah not being honored through baby Sarah anymore.
The legacy of Sarah. Oh, Sarah. Sarah, your sister Sarah, not being connected to my Sarah anymore? Yeah, that sucks. I don't know. You know, it's a very good question. I think the writers are going to bring it back around. And we have to remember, because we're so anxious to get to a lot of stories and a lot of things being worked out, that's a great point in terms of how will Diggle, who has a tendency of kind of honoring the dead, honor someone like Sarah, since he no longer has a child, or at least a girl child. There's 23 episodes a season, 9 months of shooting that we do. So there's a lot of story. So I think we're going to get to that. And that's a very good point. I don't know yet. But I think it would be an injustice that Diggle didn't honor Sarah's death in some way. So I hope we do get to that. And that's a very good question. Thank you for that.
Go over to this side.
Hi. So my question is, we are all so excited to have Diggle back in the Arrow Cave again, and we were looking forward to that, right? So my question for you is, what can we look forward to with original Team Arrow this season? And for Willa, will we get to see Thea suit up again? Do you want Thea to suit up again?
Yeah, I definitely do. I miss that leather outfit a lot. I don't miss that part. Yeah. That part, I'm kissing at the ground about. But I miss being in the Arrow Cave. I miss shooting on set all the time, like on our actual studio. I miss hanging out with David every single day, and I miss hanging out with Emily
Miss
every
you
single
too.
day. And I miss hanging out with Steven sometimes. Kidding. But I think that you are going to see. Yeah, I mean, the crossover photos have leaked out already, so, I mean, haven't they, right? Like, we've all been tagged in them and stuff, so I feel like everyone's seen it. So you see that I put my costume back on finally after 8 episodes of not wearing it, so I hop back into it, and I have a feeling that she's gonna be periodically putting it back on whenever it's necessary. Because she's still trying to do some
Just
stuff.
to walk around the house, or
Yeah,
actually
just
go
to
out
walk
and do
around the
stuff?
house. I mean, like, you know, she goes grocery shopping like that.
Right.
It's like, she doesn't like wearing sunglasses, so she needs to have that black eye makeup on all
First
day
of
long.
all, remember how many times you've changed out of your costume and we wrap and you're right out of set. She doesn't take off any of the black.
I always forget.
Like this. And she goes today to Starbucks. She's like, "What's up?"
I
I'm like,
completely
honey,
forget
you
that
gotta
it's on
take
me.
that off. You're freaking
Wait, you
people out.
seriously go out in public
Yeah,
with
all
your...
the time.
All the time. All the
Like,
time.
the amount of times that's actually happened
I'm
is
like, have
really
you been walking
embarrassing.
around like that?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I've actually
With
made
makeup on?
kids
What?
cry in public.
looks
Not,
pretty.
it was really, really sad. I went to the grocery store at 8 in the morning one day when they got me ready and they didn't need me for the first scene they realized. And so I was just like, oh, okay, I'll go run some errands. Didn't even think for a second that I had this makeup on. And I'm standing in line at a grocery store with a cart full of stuff, and there's a kid who's like, Mom, and I turn around, he's like, ah! And I was like, okay, well. But yeah, back to your actual question. Yeah, I will be putting the suit on, here and there, and hopefully a lot more and stuff. Yeah. Sorry, I have brain to mouth dyslexia this morning. You're fine.
Let's go back over to this side.
Hi, my name is Nick, and this is for Willa. I didn't know if you remembered me, but back in San Jose, I was in the Arrow costume, and I went up on stage and played Super Charades with you and did a dance-off.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Awesome.
Hey,
I wanted
cutie.
to see if we could have a rematch.
Oh, rematch right now?
Yeah.
All right, get
Yeah.
up here. What are we dancing to? Do we got music and stuff?
Come on down.
Yeah, David.
That's good, David. That's good.
What do you want? What do you want to do? What do you want to have a dance off doing? You want to pull a move and I pull a move?
Wait, should we get out of the way? Or yeah, should we back up a bit? Like this
All
is
right, here we
really
go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
This is like gonna be exciting. Oh shit. Oh dang.
This ground sucks for the running man.
Go, 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 go.
I gotta copy you.
What is that?
Oh, check him out, check him out, check him out, check him out.
He's killing it. I'm too tired, guys. I just gotta pass the crown to this kid. You win. I'm sorry, my boobs are really rusty and sad right now.
Is it my turn?
Awesome.
No.
That was great.
really sad on my side, but really adorable on yours.
No, you were awesome.
All right, I think we have time for one, maybe two more questions, so we'll head over to the Flash on this side.
My question, well, I'm Blaine, and my question is, what are all you guys' favorite superheroes, like actual ones?
Like actual superheroes.
No, I mean
The real
not
life
real
superheroes.
ones, like
My
out of the
mother?
entire universe, like through the comic books and all. Like, who's your actual favorite superhero?
Can I be?
Let's start down the other end. Oh no, you're gonna go.
I'm trying to. It's hard to pick, man. I mean, I grew up on Batman, being my OG, but I think I just gotta stick with him. I always say I'm Batman, so Batman's my man. Batman's my man.
Can't lose a Batman.
I don't really know if she's a superhero, but is that okay? I'm in general anyway. I've always really liked Catwoman.
Catwoman. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You'd
That
be a good
leather?
Catwoman.
Hello.
I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah,
You'd
she'd
be
be
a- you'd be a
real-
dope
real
Catwoman,
good in a
actually. Yeah, she would be a
Michelle
dope
Pfeiffer.
Catwoman.
Just,
Watch out now.
Aladdin. That'd be nice.
Charlotte Ross.
A superhero to me is someone like Jane Goodall,
Fair
who
enough.
braves
So
everything
looking
in
forward to that.
society and fights for what she believes in and helps raise awareness for unfair treatment of animals in general. And I think we all have a bit of superhero in us, and we need to follow our dreams and protect those that need protecting.
Is that DC or Marvel?
Exactly.
Not sure.
How do we follow that up? Moon Knight.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That was my favorite superheroes. His
Yeah.
name was actually Moon Knight.
I know. I'm not very familiar with
Marvel
a lot of these
comics.
things. I like the. It's not really a superhero, is it? The Joker. I just always liked the Joker in Batman. That was always my favorite. Whether it was Heath Ledger or Jack Nicholson or anybody else. So that's the one that always tickled my fancy. But it's not really a superhero, is it? It's also a super villain.
Yeah, he's a super.
Well, here we are, heroes and villains. There you go. I got away with it.
He becomes a bit of a superhero-esque-ish in Suicide Squad. Like, does some good-ish, right? Being part
Really?
of the Suicide Squad.
Does he?
I mean, they fight bad guys as bad guys. So in pseudo, he's doing good as a bad guy.
He wasn't doing much of that. What do we got?
Paul, do you think that Harry Dresden would qualify as a hero?
As a wizard with a hockey stick. Yeah, he tried to do heroic things, as best he could. But not, not always brilliantly well, but he did the best he could, yes. Superhero-esque.
All right, final question. We're going to go over to this side here.
All right, I had a question for David Ramsey. This year, since we're seeing Stephen try to be mayor somehow, who's the best fictional mayor, Carter Poole or Oliver Queen, and why?
Probably Carter Poole because he has to actually stand up to Tom Selleck, which, if you know anything about Tom Selleck, isn't easy. But Oliver Queen, I think that story's gonna flesh out, man. It's how do you be an absentee mayor anyway?
You have me do everything.
Pretty much.
You have a drunk deputy mayor? I don't know.
I know. I don't know how he's running his office. You have a drunk deputy mayor.
I've got this. I'll be fine.
That's right. Yeah, that'll be my answer.
Are we going to see you on Blue Bloods again anytime soon?
I don't know.
Or?
Hopefully we will. Let's do one more. Though.
Can I just say one thing? Can I just ask? I watched the show the other day, and I don't know whether it was Dolph Lundgren's first scene, but was it his first scene where he sits there when Steven's tied up, and he does the drink, has the drink, and the
first time he saw
the
him.
other guys. Was that the first time he was seen?
Yeah.
I thought he was fantastic in that scene. I watched it like 3 times. Dolph Lundgren, did you like him in the show?
I thought it was great.
Right? I was like, well, I was blown away by that. I thought it was fantastic.
I think you said you wanted to do
one more. Yeah, let's do
more.
one more. Let's do another question.
I don't know if we have anybody on this side, so we'll go.
They've all gone home, David.
We'll go on this side.
This is for David Ramsey.
That's you.
Who is your favorite child? Baby Sarah or Baby John?
Jeez. These are tough. They're tough, man. They're really passionate about Baby Sarah.
Answer it.
You're the one that wanted one more question, too. You asked
I know, I did. It's a tough one, man. You know something? Baby Sarah is really close to my heart, little brother. She's really close to my heart. She was just great. I mean, she was really, really good. They would do cutaways with Baby Sarah, but like when the scene was dying, they would cut away to her and she'll give like some quick look like, and everybody would cool like, oh, she's great, and like a third of the scene would be cutaways to Baby Sarah. So I would say Baby Sarah. Though I love John Jr. But you know they have to connect that whole John Jr. thing to the Connor Hawk.
Well,
that was the whole.
Is that for certain? We know that JJ is supposed to be Connor Hawk, or is it just theorized?
I mean, that's supposed to be. It's all theory until it actually happens. But yeah, that's supposed to happen. And somehow or another, he didn't save John Diggle someplace in the future. We don't know how this all works out.
I thought that was an awesome moment too when we find out about Connor Hawk being your son.
It is interesting, and just seeing old kind of confused Oliver Queen with no arm is very, very nice too.
Well, thank you everybody for your questions.
Can I just say one thing?
Sure.
I just want to say the reason why we're all sat here is because all you lovely people support this show through these 100 episodes and 5 seasons.
Yes, thank you guys so much.
All of us, thank you so much for all your support and also for coming out to this event as well. So thank you very much. Much appreciated.
Thank you everybody for coming out to this panel. One more time for David Ramsey, Charlotte Ross, Katie Cassidy, Willa Holland, and Paul Blackthorne. Make sure you go and visit them at their tables.